All right, so today we're going to talk about files. How do we upload data files up to our website? And so there's lots of steps involved here. So let's start by making our form. Let's echo out our form. And we need a form tag in order to get at the upload buttons that our client gives us, that the browsers allow us to use. And so we'll call this action is going to be a post. And no, that's stupid. Action is going to go to file upload.php. My method is going to be post, and I have to add something in order to send file data as well as the normal text boxes and text areas and things like that. So I need an encoding type. It's got to be this multi-part form data. No, this will let you upload anything.
Yeah, but I mean, is there a way you could change multi-part to, say, images or something like that? Or is
No.
there somewhere else you do?
No.
Okay. I didn't know.
You have to do that on the server side. So the typical input box is going to be what? File, right? That's the type of our input, and the name is going to be something like image or whatever. Upload, we'll call it upload. Fine. And let's see what this form looks like. Oops. Backseat programmer, yeah, really. All right, so this is a typical form that you might have. And obviously, I could put name and address and radio buttons and checkboxes in this as well. But I'm just interested in the, oops, that's interesting. I'm just interested in uploading a file. So I can use the browser now displays this choose file button because I chose the type of file in my input box. And I can select any file I want here. Let's go find some text file or something. I don't know what. Here's a gem file. How about that? All right, and so that's the file. And then I hit the submit button. Oops, forgot to put a submit button, right? So I need a submit button. Type equals submit. Name equals submit. Value equals upload file. So reload our form. And choose my file again. Choose a gem file, upload the file, and it uploaded the file and then redisplayed my form. I didn't get anything, right? I'm just testing my form. So before I do that, I need to get that information from PHP. So what they give you is just like we used the get information, the get array, and the post array. There happens to be a files array. All right? And I can look at the name of my input, which is going to be upload. And let's just print this out using that print R and see what we get. All right, print R says print it in an object in a nice readable format. This is used almost exclusively for debugging only. So let's choose a file again, upload the file, and now we get back all this information about that object, that file's object that we uploaded. So I've got things like a temporary name, I've got an error of 0, I've got the name of the file. All of that came from the browser. The browser sent me the name of the file. It sent me the name, the type of the file. This happens to be an octet stream. It gives me, which is just a bunch of bytes. It couldn't determine that it was a text file or anything like that. The size, there's 774 bytes in that file. And this is where the PHP system stored your file temporarily. That's where the file is on your hard drive on the server. And it gives it this random number letters here because that's not where we're going to leave it. We need to do something with that. All right, so we have all this information. It's an array of arrays, so this happens to be a double array. So if I want to look at the name of the file, I can say echo out $files sub upload. Now, what is upload coming from? It's the name on the form, right? It's the name here that I tied it into. I could call this Dave if I wanted. Those have to match. All right? And then I can say upload sub name, I believe. I just had that, didn't I? Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, name. So if I print out just the name here, let's echo out a break tag just so I can get an echo out me a break tag. I'll upload the form again. And so now this is the name of the file that I uploaded, gem file. So to access those pieces of information, I use it like a double array. All right? An upload gives me the part of the array, and then I index it again to get the name and the size and all that stuff, that extra information that might be in the file. All right? So if I want to do something with that file, I can obviously echo out all kinds of stuff, like I can echo out the size is going to be files sub upload sub size, right? That will give me the size. Oops. I could upload the name, output the name, the error type that I have. The temporary name was called temp underscore name. So all of that I can get from that file's object, that this associative array that was created for me by PHP. All right, I don't have to do anything else with that. Now, to do something with the file, I typically need to move that from the temporary folder because nobody in the outside world can see that folder. I need to move that to a place on my server's root so that everybody else can see the file, right? I need to move it maybe into my images folder, or need to move it into some place for the user to store their avatars or something like that. So they have a method called move uploaded file, believe it or not, and I pass it in the file name and a destination name. So what would be the file name where it is now? Files sub upload sub temp name. All right, that's the temporary name where it is now on the server. The server already has the file out in the cloud. All right, that's on the PHP server. I need to move it from that directory into a directory that I know about. All right, and I want to put it into maybe my uploads directory. and I want to call it something, right? I can name it something as I'm copying it over. I'm going to copy it from its initial destination to in place what I want to call it. So what was the original name of the file? Files sub upload sub name. So if I concatenate those together, this will create a directory called upload / and then this file name. So hopefully it will go into a folder called gem file. So let's make sure that that's created on our remote host. I need a folder in here called gem upload. All right, and I don't think I can do it from here. Oh yeah, I can. Look at that. So I'll create a folder called upload. What do I call it? Uploads, plural. So now, hopefully, when I actually do the upload again, it will show up in this folder. Yes. All right, so let's just reload this, upload it again, and it says no such file to load. So I have an error on my line 14. So let's see what we got. It doesn't like my move uploaded file. Great. Isn't that wonderful? Unable to move to uploads / gem file. I don't think so. Well, let's do it again. So, and I don't have anything in my uploads folder, so it didn't actually upload. So let's see why. There's the temporary name, so that's okay. The size, the name of the file was gem file. So let's just print out what I'm trying to do. So echo, this is a good debugging. Move from, and we'll have our this, and then echo move to, and then we're going to call this all right, so let's see what happens. All right, move from here, and we move to upload / gem file. So it doesn't like that.
Dave, I got a question.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be able to add files to the remote host location, or do you have to do it from the project side first?
No, I can create files directly here. Sure.
Okay.
Do you have it in your project?
I don't have it in my project, but it shouldn't matter. I think the problem is what? You see a problem? Do you see it?
Try adding parentheses around the file's upload sub-template. Around the whole thing.
This?
Like how you have it up.
Mine works.
This?
Yeah.
Mine has single quote.
Oh.
Around these? Yeah, that also shouldn't matter. All right, I see the problem. I created my uploads folder inside my production, not inside my dev folder. So that would be a stupid thing. So here we go, uploads, create it, now I can run it. Just reload it, let it upload again, bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Now I've got the file uploaded all the way to the server. Isn't that great? Wow. So it makes a difference what server you're on when you create these things. All right. So any questions on that so far? So I can use the information that the browser gives me in terms of the name and everything. I could use their name or I could use my own name. I don't have to use the name they give me. But I need to move it into place outside of the system temp directory so I can put it to use. So if I did an image, maybe I want to use that and upload it to an image folder instead. All right. So let's. Any questions on that? Yes. So I could. Let's choose a file and actually upload something like an image. Okay, so it uploads the Rails image here. Oops. And I can look on my remote host. And here's my rails.ping. And I could then display this on the form. Image source. Let's see. Let's echo it out. Let's put an image source equals, and then what would the name of the file be? Well, it would be uploads slash, and then the name of the file. So let's create a name here. Image name or path is going to be uploads slash concatenated with what they sent me. I don't want to use the fixed name, so I can put up anything I want. And so that creates a variable of the name of the image as it sits on the server in my uploads directory. All right. So then I can say down here the source is just going to be image path. All right. So let's reload this guy. Let's resend it. And there you go. Look at that. And if I look at the image, you see that the path name is upload/rails.ping. It wouldn't be there. Sure. It'll be a 404 not found. Yeah. All right. So I'm able to upload a file. Isn't that cool? Isn't that sweet stuff? So any questions on what we've done so far? I don't know if we have time. Of course, you can do all kinds of error checking. You can check to see if the product type, the image type is the right file and all that kind of stuff. But let's now play around with resizing the image. Okay, we can resize it on the server, perhaps, to create a thumbnail of that image. All right? Doesn't that sound exciting? It does. So what we have to do is there are lots of methods, and so let's just go to the website so you can see some of these guys, php.net. And the one that we're going to start with is called image create from JPEG. Oops, what happened? php.net/image create from JPEG. All right, so this is the API that talks about creating an image. What this does is it goes out and reads the file name, reads the file data that represents the image into memory, into a memory object that I can then play around with and resize and save it as a different file, put a watermark on it, do all kinds of stuff with that. So I need to create an in-memory version of the file that's on the disk. So obviously this one works from a JPEG, so I'm going to have to upload a JPEG for this to work right. So let's call this method. And what would I call that on? My image path, right, very good. So that is the name of the file as it sits on my disk after I copied it over to the right directory. And I need to save this as something. I'm going to call it, that's the source, that's the original image. And then I'm going to, given that I want to get the original size. So just like in Ruby, there's a method in PHP that lets you copy two things at a time. Just like you could say A comma B equals C comma D in Ruby, I can do this with a list command, and I can say I want to get the width and the height from this method called getImageSize, another image method of the image path that I have. So what that does is getImage returns an array of a width and a height, and so this breaks it out and puts in width and height from this, so it makes it on one line of code. My width and height are set now.
So are those width and height, are those predefined variables?
No. They could be Dave and Jones. Yeah. Yep.
And it will return a height and width no matter what.
Whatever the number. Yeah. This you can basically think of it as getImageSize returning two values, but it's really returning an array of two values, and the first element gets put into here, and the second element gets put into here. All right, and I might want to have a new width. Let's enlarge the image instead. Let's make this big. And our new height, in order to keep it proportional, I can enlarge one, but then I have to enlarge the other one based on the original proportions. So I have to do some math. I know you guys hate some math, but we have to calculate the proportion of what the original height of the image was versus the width of the image. And then I multiply that by the new width, and that gives me the new height. All right, so that's the formula for taking the proportion of the original image, multiplying it by how I want it to be, how wide I want it to be, and the height comes out as some number between that. It calculates that all out for me. So that'll stay as proportional. And then I have to use some weird things like image, create, these are long names, true color of the, I have to create a temporary blank image in memory, a temporary blank image this of a particular height and width, new width and a new height. So that creates a place to put it. That's a, I know this is weird. And then I copy, they have this method called image copy resampled, which takes the source and copies it into this new image, this new blank image that has the new height, and it will size it up. It resamples it. It's like in Photoshop when you expand something, you enlarge it or contract it. It will keep all the colors as nicely as possible. And then these are a bunch of variables we have to add: width, new height, width, and height. All right? And you can look up this to find out all the details of that. These are basically the starting points of the image and the new width, the new height, and the old width and the old height.
So you would give it like a sort of like back.
Yeah, you could do some stuff like that.
Setting all those zeros to like boxes. You need to set the measurement you're using.
No, it's all pixels. It's always pixels in images. Yeah. All right. So now my temp image in memory has the new data in it. All right. So I have to save that to a new place. I have to save that. And so let's call this new image JPEG. And this will write the image out to a file. All right. So I have this in-memory image, and I need to now write that data out to a file as a JPEG image. So we're going to call this, let's see, I have to pass it the in-memory version of it, the name of where I want it to go. I'm going to put it in uploads, and I call it big.jpg for now. And then the resolution or the quality of the image. You know, in Photoshop, when you save something as a JPEG, it gives you a quality indicator, right? 100% means I want to save the maximum quality I can get out of that. So this way, I could actually save it as a 10% quality, and it'll be more granular. You know, you get grainy stuff. But I want to save the best quality I can. It's, well, they're doing it as a percentage. It's actually a percentage. It does go to 100%. But, yeah, they do, yeah, right. So then I need to destroy my in-memory thingies, my in-memory temporary images, resources. And I'm going to destroy my temp and my source. And there, I'm done. All right? What a pain. Isn't that a pain? But not too bad. So let's see if I can actually get it to work. Let's choose an actual JPEG file, because I don't have a ping. There are versions of this JPEG that you could say image create from JPEG, image create from GIF, image create from ping, etc. But let me find a JPEG here real fast. Stop this. Oh no, I wasn't recording all that. You got to be kidding me. Oh, son of a Gunderson. I hit pause. All right, so the last part was I was just getting a new image. We uploaded it. Here's the result. Here's the original image. And because we shrank it, we set it to 500 width. This is the image that it created for me automatically. So all of that from this resizing of the image. Isn't that great? And it put it as big.jpg because I saved it as a hard-coded name. There you go.